Let's go! Woo!
Fire me up, team.
Jackson Zuber here for House of Sparky on Mill Avenue. I'm all costumed up because it is spooky season, and we're gonna go see what the Devil fans have to say here on Halloween night. Let's go check it out. We're gonna toss it right there on the grill. Listen to that noise, it just sounds fantastic. We got our spatula here, we got our aprons, we are all ready to go. But this patty, it just reminds me of Jane Daniels. Yeah, if I were to quote, Meek Mill for a second here, roughly, of course, it's back to back and it's getting scary. This is 2 straight weeks where
That's spooky.
penalties have really been an issue. Scotty, it's not about what they're eating at Thanksgiving dinner, it's who is at Thanksgiving dinner. Now, on the same weekend as families across the country come together to enjoy a meal, 2 rivals will collide in the duel in the desert for the Territorial Cup. But really, how different are these 2 events? I, for one, would say not much at all. The cast of characters you would see at any Thanksgiving meal are all going to be there Saturday night in Tempe. Let's start here with Herm Edwards, or for our case, good old Uncle Herm. When he speaks, everyone listens. Even though you don't really know what he's going to say, you know it's going to be entertaining. Next is Kevin Sumlin. Now, he's kind of like Uncle Herm's younger brother. He had learned under Herm for years and now is his own man. Actually, the most interesting thing about Uncle Kevin is that there's this little rumor going around that he's on the hot seat. U of A might want to divorce him, so let's move past that. Let's look at the quarterbacks. Starting with Jaden Daniels. He's finally allowed to sit at the adult table. At first he's cautious, minimizing mistakes, carefully passing food around the table, making sure not to spill, but then as he gets comfortable, he takes a couple shots downfield, cracking a couple jokes, reaching for the wine, seeing what he can do. Which brings us to Khalil Tate. First year he was at the big table went great, and there were even hopes that he could get the most prestigious honor of all, sitting at the head of the table one year, but a few mistake jokes, a fumble the gravy, and a few bread roll interceptions later, and Khalil Tate is now down at the far end of the table. Now, our running backs is where it gets very interesting, as ASU's Eno Benjamin and U of Arizona's J.J. Taylor are in similar spots. They're both the older kid that the adults love and the kids look up to, but everyone is pretty sure that this is their last year at the Thanksgiving table for quite a while. These guys got bigger things to do. Thanksgiving week is all about family. Every family has some rivalries, a couple of arguments, and in the Arizona family we have the duel in the desert. Not that much different than Thanksgiving dinner, if you really think about it.
1952.
No.
1928.
Also wrong.
We always play really hard, and so I'm happy. It's also the first game of the season.
Who said it's about wins and losses? It's about working hard, right?
Correct, but
Full interview right
Full
here?
interview
You
right
and
here.
me?
You and me.
All right, you watch the game?
No, I'm sorry.
The number 1 ASU football
Number
fan.
1 ASU.
The number 1.
You know what the score of the game is?
What's game?
The ASU football game.
No.
Do you know who the quarterback is?
No.
that's kind of hard because I don't.
He doesn't go here.
I don't go here yet.
Did you go to the game?
I did, but I didn't see who the starting lineup was.
He was in the whole time.
I know, but
1971.
No, I would go lower.
Oh,
further.
1943.
Go further.
1900.
Very close, like ridiculously close.
1901.
Other way.
1859.
Emerald, not emerald. Emmy.
It's Emerald. the cook. Before this, you told me that he was actually at the first Territorial Cup game.
It's true. It's true.
Jackson Zuber for House of Sparky out here outside of Sun Devil Stadium where the fans are tailgating, getting ready for the duel in the desert for the Territorial Cup. It's the biggest game of the year. There's lots of questions around it. Who's going to win? Which fans will be the loudest? But the real question is, which fans know more about the history of the Territorial Cup?
It's a freshman, Jaden Daniels.
Nice.
Let's go!
Well, Jordan, it was just complete domination by the Oregon defense. They controlled the game. They really stopped USC. They stopped Kadon Slovis. I mean, it was insane to be able to see those cornerbacks stop those wide receiver weapons that we know they have. Yeah, you talked about this being the spooky episode, and one thing that was absolutely terrifying had to be the team's play on third down. It was on both sides of the ball. I am no fortune teller, but if I were to just take a second and look into my crystal ball, I gotta have ASU coming out with a lot of aggressiveness after the loss, 2 straight bad losses. I think they're gonna come out very aggressive at home. They're gonna get to Kadon Slovis, and they're really going to stifle this offense. And in the battle of the two true freshman quarterbacks, I got to go with Jaden Daniels on this one and have the Devils outshine the Trojans here in Tempe. Grill on and everything, and now we're just going to flip this bad boy over.
That's a good flip.
Over to the defensive side of the ball. We talk about plus minus there at the end. I know you're not a big fan of that stat, but that stat a lot of times shows playing very good defense when you're on the court. And usually in a blowout, you don't pay that much attention to the defense because it's, oh my God, they scored so many points. But how did this team fare defensively, only giving up 55 points? The pride of ASU is this 60-foot-tall, gold-painted letter A. Everybody knows that it sits on top of A Mountain, but what a lot of people don't know is, one, the real name of the mountain is Hayden Butte, and two, it actually has a volcanic origin, much like that of the Sun Devil offense, which for years has impressed fans right over here in Sun Devil Stadium with its ability to take the top off of defenses and explode for huge point-scoring games. Now, this mountain is no longer a risk for any volcanic activities, and this year the Sun Devil team hasn't either. In the first week of the season, they were only able to muster 10 points in the first half off of Kent State, and in the second week of the season, they were only able to get one touchdown versus an FCS school. Kicker Christian Zendejas has led the team in points by getting 25. The rest of the team has only gotten 24. You heard that right. The kicker has had the most points on the team. That is not something you expect with a team with combustible playmakers like that of Eno Benjamin, Frank Darby, Brandon Ayuk, and Jaden Daniels. All right, well, now Rider University isn't exactly the most dangerous opponent the Sun Devils have on their schedule this year. How do you see the team faring as they get to a more tough opponent? Ingredients
That's a good football team.
for the Sun Devils can come together. They can surely be a deliciously good team.
Jackson Zuber, man. Thanks so much.
Let's go! Woo! There's his phone.
Let's go.